The Glock G43X versus the G43. Let's check it out. The Glock G43X created a lot of excitement this year in the Glock universe, and there were a lot of questions about the original Glock 43. Does this make the original Glock 43 obsolete? 10+1, 6+1. Yes, we have a little bit of a longer frame. There are a lot of other improvements that went into the G43X. But again, does this make the G43 no longer a viable option? Now, this video is brought to you in part by the Sportsman's Guide. You get $20 off every $100 or more purchase using Sootch in the coupon code. Now, first thing we want to do is make sure that all the guns are unloaded. Guys, we live in the golden age of firearms, there's no doubt, and there's so many different choices, and nothing is the perfect firearm. Even though Glock perfection, is their motto, they definitely have a number of different choices to where you can choose whatever. In the world of single stack firearms, just like this Glock 43, this has been around for a while, and it's really proven itself to be an excellent firearm. But once Glock moved up to the 10-round magazine in pretty much the same size, a little bit longer grip, it just gives us some more options. But the main thing for this video is to see if the G43 or the Glock 43 is obsolete. Now, one important thing to note that we've talked about with the original G43X review is that we have a 10-round magazine, and with the G43 we have a 6-round magazine, but they are not interchangeable. You can see that it just won't fit. One of the reasons is because the magazine is just a lot thinner on the G43. And so this is a magazine that will also fit the G48, the 10-rounder, but it will not fit the G43. Now, for one thing, the two slides are the same. I mean, they are the same dimensions, they're the same length. There are some improvements with the G43, and you'll notice the bevel on the front, which is a Gen 5 edition that you don't have on the standard G43. Of course, you have the original black finish on here. Of course, they used to use Tenifer finish. Now it's just a similar to Tenifer. And then we have this NDLC coating that's silver on the G43X. Now, a lot of guys have complained about this silver finish, and they really hope for an option for the black slide. And I think probably Glock will offer a black slide in the future. But it's funny because the more that I've handled this slide, the more I like the contrast. Now, one of the things, though, that a lot of people are reporting is that this slide does not hold up. Now, I want to show you a little detail. You can see, I mean, it is impeccable. And we have shot now about 1,500 rounds through this handgun. I've put it in a number of different Kydex holsters, and the finish is excellent. But one thing that I did was I took a picture just quickly. I put it on Instagram, and there were a bunch of scuffs on the slide right here. And a lot of people picked it out and started talking about how so many people had talked about how this finish is not durable. Well, I immediately took one of my break-free, and these are just the wipes. They're lubricant wipes. And I wiped the slide down, and I took a second picture. Guys, I'm going to tell you, this slide is durable. If anybody is saying it's not durable, that's just because they haven't wiped it off. Here with the original Glock finish, of course, these are super durable as well. And while Cerakote is nice, now Cerakote gives us a lot of options. We can color them up, but I'm going to show you something. You see right here? It does wear. And if anybody tells you it doesn't, they don't know what they're talking about. Can you scratch these slides? Of course you can. You take a carbide scribe and mark into it, sure. but it is a very durable finish. Now I do have Talon grips applied to both of these pistols. They're small and I like Talon grips. I have a full installation of the G43X on GetZone.com. I'll have it linked down below in the description because we can't show those kind of things on YouTube now. But I'm going to show you the original finish on the G48 actually, but this is the same on the G43X. It is very muted. I mean, it's still grippable, has a good grip, it still has the little pyramids, but they are definitely abbreviated. And so I really wanted to put some nice Talon grips on there to give it a little more confidence when I'm gripping the handgun. On the original G43, and of course we can't see it because of the Talon grips, it is a little more aggressive. One of the big things is the grip width. Now you got a 10-round magazine, so you have a little bit of a thickness here that you don't have on the G43. This is going to add to concealability, but as far as shootability, the G43X and the G48 are superior. I mean, they have a really solid, full grip on the pistol. With the G43, with a standard magazine, you can see my pinky is attached, but it's not really solid. And what that's going to do is the muzzle flips, you're not going to have quite as much leverage right here. And so it's just going to naturally have a little more muzzle flip than your G43X or your G48. You've just got a full grip with your pinky. But one of the big things about the G43 is that there are a blue bazillion magazine extensions that you can get. Now this is your standard G43 magazine. This is a Glock pinky extension. It doesn't add anything to the grip or the magazine capacity, but it does add to the grip right here. And so that makes it gives you a little more gripping surface. Here we have one of the Bastion gear. This is just an aluminum piece, but it does give you just a little bit extra over the standard grip. It's not a lot, but it does make a difference. Of course, it has the aluminum here. And then here's another Bastion gear with the finger pinky rest, and this is also aluminum. Now here we have one of the Tyrant designs. This is an aluminum piece. It is excellent. In fact, I'm going to show you right here. It just fits really well into the handgun. It molds right up next to the frame. This gives you 2 extra rounds. I actually was able to get 3 extra rounds in here, but that is definitely a good quality option. Now we're going to use the standard G43 with one of the Tyrant extended base plates. This actually adds 3 rounds, so we have 9. That's only one short of the G43X. Well, I like the way that shoots. Now the G43X. That was really close. With the Tyrant base plate, it shot very close to the standard G43X. And then we have the Strike Industries EMP. This actually adds 2 rounds as well. It fits. It's very OEM looking in my opinion. I mean, you have your same kind of texturing there. It is polymer. Gives you a full solid grip on the handgun. And guys, I'm telling you, there are a ton of the magazine extensions out there, Terran Tactical and Pierce grips. I use those for a lot of my larger frame Glock pistols. But as far as just magazine extension, here we have one of the ETS mags. I believe this is a 9-round extension. And so it actually hangs out, but it does give you a little bit of surface to grab. And so that's a big plus. Of course, if you don't like that, you can go with some of these others. And then we have the 12-round extension. And then it kind of really hangs out. This would be excellent for a backup magazine. Now we're going to try the ETS 12-round magazine. As you can see, it does extend well below the grip, but again, you have 12 rounds. It gives you a lot more leverage, no doubt. Now we're going to go back to the G43X just to give me a point of comparison. This again fills your hand a little more, but that little ETS 12-round mag, that gives you a lot of leverage. It was pretty equal. Also, mag guts, well, actually it just replaces the spring and the follower, and it gives you an extra round. This goes from 6 to 7. This is one of the Model 42 magazines, and I have one installed. I have not yet gotten one for the G43. And guys, if you're going to start changing out your magazine bases, you definitely need some kind of tool. I mean, you can do it with the Glock tool that's just a punch, but there are two little locking areas right here on either side. So you have to press down, and that's what this tool is for. It actually presses those tabs down, and you can pull this out if you put a punch in here. This was from Brownells. It really helps, and Brownells has a ton of these different choices. But this is one from Vism. Actually, one of my viewers sent this to me, L.A. Garcia, and this actually has a little piece that comes out, and so you can lock it right here into the button, and then just grab and then pull, and then it pulls it loose. I really like this. If you use a punch in here, you can do it, and I've done it. It is a bear. But then it snaps right in. You can pull it right off. And then we have this fixer. It's something I just found on eBay. Right here, place it in and just pop it open. Gives you that leverage you need to get these open. And then you can change out to your, different type base plates. But these are excellent tools. And again, there's a lot of different ones out on the market. So we're going to enter the EMP from Strike Industries. This gives us, again, 8 rounds. And then we have the 10 rounds from the G43. You're getting 10 rounds, and you're still getting a little bit of an extension on the original G43 magazine. So that's definitely, something to consider. But it does give you extra rounds. You've got 8 rounds now instead of 6. You've got an extension so you can shoot it better. It's not quite the 10, but you're not buying a whole new firearm. And again, the Tyrant Designs fits right in there. Just a little bit of an extension right here. But again, you're getting 2 extra rounds with the G43X. Now, one of the big questions has been is if you put the G43X slide on the G43 and vice versa, will they work? And yes, they will. According to Glock, these slides are pretty much the same. So we're going to drop the G43X. We're going to pull the trigger, go ahead and take this slide off, and we're going to do the same with the G43. And we're just going to switch the slides. Now we're going to test for function. We're going to test for function. We're going to first shoot the G43X slide on the standard G43 frame. Now the G43 slide on the G43X frame. Good stuff, good stuff. If you guys that want black, there you go. What do you think between these two?
I like this one.
Why?
It feels better in my hand. I feel like I have more grip. This one, I felt, even though my hands are small, it felt like it was falling off.
But that also includes the G48. It will also fit. It's the same frame as your G43X. And so the G43 will fit and vice versa. One of the big advantages of the G48 is that I can take my G43 and put it on my G48 frames, and I've got a G43X with a black slide. And then here, if I want that extension, the longer sight radius, I've got it with the G48 slide, yet I've got 6 rounds, and so I've got a shorter grip for the original G43. So that is the reason why a lot of people are going to the G48 over the G43X if they already have a G43. Because you can switch this out. Now you've got 2 different configurations. Then you can go back to the original. So really, you have 4 different configurations. It's pretty sweet. Now, because of the frame being a little wider on the G43X and the G48, there's been a lot of question, will it fit in your standard G43 holster? So we have a number of different holsters here that are G43. Here we have one of the C&G holsters. If you haven't checked these out, these guys are doing an excellent job. And you got your retention screw. I like the plastic clip. This is perfect for appendix carry or, you know, for 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock position. Here we have our standard G43, and it fits in there very nicely. It's got that retention here with the G43X. Perfect fit. The frame does not interfere with this Kydex. Now, there are some Kydex holster makers that may be a little tighter fit, but typically you should have a retention screw to be able to loosen some of it anyway, because sometimes you don't want this too tight. But one of my favorite holsters is the G-Code Phenom. This is a new holster from G-Code. It's got this little standout, so it helps to keep the butt closer to your stomach. It is Kydex, but it has what they call the tactical fuzz, and man, this is quiet. It doesn't have that Kydex sound to it. Listen to that. That's sweet. Nice, really strong clip. It does have some retention you can set on here. So this is an excellent holster, and I actually got it for the G43X. Look at that, just perfect. Perfect feel. Again, with that longer butt, I really like this standoff because it'll actually push it again against your belt, and it pushes it back so it rides really close to your stomach. And one holster company that I've really been actually ordering a number of holsters from is Stealth Gear. And this is the vent core system. It's got the 2 clips, great appendix style holster, very comfortable to wear. Here for the G43 and the G43X, perfect. I mean, guys, I've tested a bunch of these different holsters, and my G43X fits all of my holsters for the G43. Are there some out there that won't? Yes, certainly, but 90% of them are going to work. So guys, we have a slimline standard, slimline compact, slimline subcompact. That's the way I like to look at it. And again, we can switch these slides out. We can change the frames. You know, we've got tons of magazine capacity changes, especially with the G43. I'm sure that there are new additions coming for the G43X and the G48. You know, there's a lot of other good guns out there, single stack guns. In fact, we have a number we've shown on here. But the Glock is really coming out with a lot of variations. Again, guys, it just allows you to fine tune your preferences. And when you're carrying every day, it's really good to have options. Guys, another thing I want to mention is Glock did send me these for the test and evaluation, but I purchased them. And also with the G43, I purchased this a number of years ago. And I'll be honest, when you start showing and manipulating different firearms and putting magazine bases on there, YouTube is really quick to demonetize the video. And so, you know, Patreon is a really great way to help support your favorite gun channels. So guys, there's a lot of options for your G43. You know, you can really update it, get it really close to the same size as the G43X. But being able to switch those slides out really makes a big difference when it comes to the G48. That way you have the longer slide, you have the 10-round capacity in this configuration, which really makes this a very efficient firearm for those states that allow for only 10 rounds. And so, you know, you can get the G19 again, you can put the 10-round magazine in it, but with this thinness, why not go with the G48? It just makes it easier to carry. Then again, take your G43 slide, slap it onto your G48, and you have a black slide G43X. I mean, this is becoming a mix and match, and I love it. It just gives us a lot of options. And guys, again, as I've said 1,000 times, we live in the golden age of firearms. There are so many different choices out there, and it's really nice to have something that you can kind of switch in and out. Just opens up a whole new universe. And that makes it universal. And again, I want to thank Sportsman's Guide for their support. Again, use Sootch at the Sportsman's Guide website. Get $20 off any $100 or more purchase. And I'm saying that because YouTube will demonetize this video. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. The dummy! Just slip it in my pocket like it is, and this right cheek, right
Oh,
Cheat.
for fun.
Conjunction, junction. What's your function?
Fungus.
Is that on?
Is it?
Okay.
It is. You need help, all right.
All right. All right,
this is
mate.
still recording.
Discuss this one.